Legal protection. It's like that. Snap, snap. Well, hello out there in Sublandia. Welcome to our Z Review. And today's topic is about Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. The strife and the fight that never ends with them. Yes, there's a secret bitching going on between them two. And I know because I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm going to tell you what I know about it. Now, I've been asked from a few of you, why don't I make a video about the differences and the rivalries with the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans. And here we go. I'm going to tell you what I know. Okay, the thing is, I can't sit here and tell you so much about Dominicans or so much about Puerto Ricans with Dominicans because I wasn't like with them 24 hours a day on a regular everyday basis, but I'm going to tell you about what I know today here on the La Zizi Review. Once upon a time, very long ago, okay, when I was a little girl, I lived next door to a Dominican family. I never forgot this, okay? This was before all the racial strife and rivalries and problems and mochinchas with Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. This was before I ever knew about it because I was too young. And I lived next door to this woman, and her name was Altagracia. And I could tell you because, trust me, she would be too old or probably she didn't really know English, so I don't think this will ever get out there. So here we go. Well, her name was Altagracia, and she was living in a one-bedroom apartment right across the hall from us, and she was a really nice lady. She looked like a Puerto Rican lady, because a lot of times Dominicans look a little bit different to us than us, but they're not really. They look just like us because we all come from islands, right? And they come from an island not so far away from ours, which is Puerto Rico, right? So she lived there alone, and then soon later she would have her kids come from Santo Domingo to live with her. And I really know the bochincha there, and that's really the gossip there because I was too young. But I did remember when her kids came, and they were a little bit older than us. Then the older teenagers, we were much younger teenagers, like say we were 13 or 12, and they were like 18 or 17, like that. And I just remember thinking how beautiful I thought her daughter was. Now her daughter was dark skinned, it was some coarse hair, and she used to straighten it. But she used to put these really cute clips in her hair, and she put these real authentic, campo-like dresses, because it was a long time ago, real pretty with the polka dots, like if somebody made them for her. It was very similar for me to watching West Side Story, like when Maria was wearing her little Spanish dresses, and they were like, dun, 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 dun. It was really authentic, and I just thought the daughter was so beautiful, and she didn't speak any English. And the daughter's name was Aide. I never forgot that. Now the son, his name was Franklin. I never forgot that either. He was so handsome, and we all had big fat crushes on him, right? And all us girls had these big fat crushes on him. We thought he was so handsome, right? And when they would have these parties, because my mother used to throw a lot of parties, and so did the other next door neighbors that lived next door to us, they used to throw parties a lot. It's the 80s, the early 80s, right? And when they used to throw parties, he would ask us to dance, and we would get so excited. And he wouldn't never get fresh or nothing like that, but just smelling his cologne, and he was so handsome and so classy, and he didn't speak English, but we used to love him, right? We used to stare at him. We stare at him from far and get so excited whenever he came off the elevator, like he was, ooh, and whatever. When I got older, like, it was like, wow, you know, I noticed the problems with Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. I noticed that they weren't supposed to like each other. And then I started to hear the, racial shit, the propaganda about them. And it would be things like this. Oh, Dominicans? They never wear socks. Dominican boys, they make me sick. They always wearing those shirts with the holes in it. They love to wear those netted shirts. Yuck. Dominicans, all they want to do is on every bodega on the corner. Dominicans come from Santo Domingo, and all they ever do is want to come here and sell drugs. Dominican this, Dominican that. Dominicans, dummies in a can. Dominicans are so fresh, they can't even dance with a Puerto Rican girl without grabbing all over her ass. Dominicans, all they want to do is play merengue all day. And the propaganda would go on and on and on, right? And you hear this all over the place if you're Puerto Rican. And then the Dominicans had their own propaganda against us as Puerto Rican. So you see all this rivalry and all this strife and all this negativity between Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, and that's true. And you will hear stuff like, you never want to go out with a Dominican man, they're all players. Dominicans, all they ever do is beat the shit out of their girls. Now, I would tell you this. After all the propaganda and all the shit I've heard about them, I actually know somebody near and dear to me that actually was with a Dominican guy for mad years. So I got to meet the family and stuff like that, and they were all very loving and good people. Very sweet. You go to their house is really clean, and they always, playing music, all kinds of music, and they're very giving, and they would warm people and they fed you well. Just like my house. My mother and my family the same way. You're gonna eat, you're gonna listen to all kinds of music, and you're gonna just have a blast, And that's how it was in their house. And he never mistreated her or beat her or anything like that. And I never seen that in his family or with his friends either. So I noticed that there's a lot of propaganda, a lot of nonsense. And I noticed that also in the Dominican community, you see them selling drugs there the same way you see in the Puerto Rican community. You see the same shit going on in their community that you see in the Puerto Rican community. I used to hear a lot of propaganda about their women, about how their women are fast asses and are easy pieces of ass and how they give it up fast and all this shit. But being in their community, I've seen a lot of them that work really hard, go home, mommy's girl, do what they're supposed to do with the family, take care of their kids, be responsible, loving women. Just like I seen with Puerto Rican girls. I've seen a lot of fast asses there, and I've also seen good, clean Puerto Rican girls. So if you was waiting for Laziza to sit here and give you all this evil, wicked gossip, you came to the wrong channel, because you're not going to get that. What I know about Dominicans and Puerto Ricans is this much. It's just like TV. Like I said in one of my previous videos, don't judge a book by its cover, because if you do, you make an ass out of you. Jazz hands. Yeah, pretty corny, man. Because if you're judging a book by its cover, you never really get to see and read inside the fantastic story, that's really going on in there when you're judging the book by its cover, by the jacket. So when you're looking at a whole race, a whole entire race of people, and you start to judge them with your preconceived idiotic notions and ideas, very similar to watching television, you getting a lot of lies, a lot of bullshit, a lot of propaganda, a lot of nonsense, and then you start to judge a whole people, and that's always wrong. And I believe that's the reason for all the bullshit and fucked up shit that happens in the world. With the wars and all that, which the war is really about money, but with the people, it's all about the propaganda, you know? One group of people hating on another group of people for whatever reason. And usually it's over money and space and food and shit like that. But the people, will believe whatever the propaganda that's thrown out there, the negative propaganda. It's easier to believe than anything good a lot of times with people for some odd reason, but whatever. But what I would say about Dominicans, what I know, is that they just like Puerto Ricans. Now, I'm going to probably get a whole bunch of Puerto Ricans pissed off when I say they probably even better than Puerto Ricans. And they didn't give up their country to America. And that's true, because Puerto Rico is part of the States. How the fuck is that? I live here, and I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans speaking English, and they're really trying to take over Puerto Rico, America. And when they do that, that's going to be real fucked up. But these Puerto Ricans are brainwashed, thinking that, oh, I want to be American. You don't want to give up this country to America? You're fucking insane, but whatever. They're already messing it up. That's not what the show's about, but I had to say something. You know how I am. Opinionated. Yes, it's my channel. You know how I do. But I don't have a problem with Dominicans at all, I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you that I know 150,000 of them, because I don't. But the ones that I know to be cool. I'm not going to say that I never met a fresh-ass, freaky-ass Dominican that wanted to get up on me, slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. But I'm not going to say I never met a Puerto Rican boy that didn't want to slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, either. Or a black guy or a white guy, for instance. They're out there everywhere. There's always going to be a scumbag in every race, You can't just judge a whole race by one or two or three or four people that you've met in your life. You can't do that, because then you're going to make an ass of yourself. And that's true. So basically what I want to say about the rivalry and the bochincha between Dominicans and Puerto Ricans is it's nonsense. And it's pretty much based on a lot of bullshit and nonsense. And shit talk that we got handed down from our parents and our friends and our family or whatever in the streets, from people that don't really know what the fuck they're talking about and don't even know too many of those people to be talking about them anyway. For example, it's pretty much fucked up the way Dominicans were spoken about when I was in high school, the way the kids would talk about them. And I remember one time when I was in junior high school, and I had a friend, and she was Dominican, and she was very beautiful, and she had that kind of curly hair that you brushed out, and it was so thick and wild, and she was so pretty, and she was, one of those girls that had skirts. She wore a lot of skirts, because, her parents were from the island, of Santo Domingo. And she was so sweet and quiet, and she used to be able to sing, and she sung so beautiful in Spanish, she'd make you cry. And she was a very, very sweet girl, and very talented, and very humble. And I remember her and she was also Dominican. And she wasn't a puta, a slut, or nothing like that. I can't say that about all the Puerto Rican girls I knew, or all the black girls I knew. Basically, you got your shicey ass people in every culture, and that's that. So that's pretty much all I got, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And like I always say, click like, don't forget, rate, comment, and subscribe. You know how much I love you, you know how much I care, and I do this all for you. And thanks for watching my show.